Oh, hey, alright, we're live. Okay, so here's the thing. I've never actually played this before, so this will be a blind playthrough of the Stanley Parable. No, seriously, I don't think I've ever played this before, yeah. Haven't even bought it before. Okay, let's see. Time to right now is 5:15 p.m. Here we go. Oh wait, no. Here we go. Let's make that 16 just to be sure. Yeah, there we go. So accessibility settings can be accessed from the main menu. Right, first things first, we go to the settings so I can lower the. Okay, right now it's on borderless, but let's make it 1366. Yeah, that makes sense. Yep, keep the resolution. Why is it borderless though? Oh well. I think it's running better now. But just to be sure, let's make it medium. There we go. You are playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. It's never the end. The end is never the end. It's never the end. It's never the end. It's never the end. You're gonna love the background noise and my mic. My brother's playing. Eh.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Okay, Stanley.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard.
Why is it
Orders
427
came
though?
to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them,
And in what order?
This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Well, as long as he's happy, why complain, right?
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget.
Which is...
He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh, am I controlling it now? Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so... Oh, hey, Beauty.
Hello. Are you streaming?
Yeah, I'm actually streaming. Playing the Stanley Parable.
Oh, let me check.
First time playing this game, so... Hey, let me just lower the video settings. It seems to be running it pretty low. Here we go.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, so I'm number 427. Now I need to go to a meeting. There are numbers everywhere.
it didn't notify.
Maybe it'll notify in a bit, just not immediately. And I hate Monday's cup.
Maybe I should check settings.
It takes a while, I'm sure. Usually. Oh, I can open doors, but everything's locked. Hey, you wanna watch? I
When
can
Stanley
stream this
came
on
to a set of
Discord.
2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Hey, I
Oh,
can
it's
stream
okay.
this on Discord.
I'm on
if you
your
want.
Twitch
Oh,
actually.
well, okay. And said I entered the door on the left. Should I follow him or not? What do you think? Should I go right? Be the rebel that I am? Well, okay, I'm gonna go right then.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire.
There's an employee lounge. It sounds awesome.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Drinking it all in.
Well,
Wait.
the narrator's voice though.
The narrator's voice is pretty good.
But
I know.
eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
This one?
Why does it sound like a sitcom narrator?
Because he's probably is a sitcom narrator. Should I follow his orders? Nah, let's go do the opposite of what he says. Like the rebel that I am.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Hey. Do not jump from the cargo lift while it is in motion. Will cause death. Okay, I'm gonna jump then.
Look, Stanley, but in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
It's sarcasm though.
Very sarcastic.
All
Okay,
of his co-workers were gone. What
Okay,
could
I'm
it
back at the
mean?
start.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I can crouch. Awesome.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
This is
Wow.
gonna be.
Yes,
Yes,
this
this
That's a
room.
helpful tip.
What a beautiful room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No, this time I'm not gonna jump off the platform.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley.
This
Someone
free.
you've forgotten about.
Well, no,
Please,
it's not free.
Stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
For whom?
For who?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back
wait,
into your
BRB.
life.
Okay.
She's been waiting.
What? How about I go back? No? Oh. There is no jump. It is. Oh my god.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her.
I don't know
If you
who
can
she
truly
is.
place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
I can't place my trust in someone I don't know. Come on. I'm not dumb. Let me out. Let me out. This is creepy.
As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope.
I didn't
Hope for
pick
a
up the
life
phone.
reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone?
Yes, I did.
No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action.
Seriously?
How is that even
possible?
None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it.
What did he see?
How had I not noticed it sooner?
What is
You're not
it?
Stanley. You're a real person.
Hey.
I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If
Hey,
you
come
made
on.
any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I
didn't.
won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world.
What?
Please observe this helpful instructional video.
What do you mean?
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario,
actually have a video for this.
hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
What? I have to practice?
Excellent.
No.
Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant.
Oh,
And
thank
the
you very
feelings
much for
should
that
subside.
reminder.
At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Yes, I do have freedom of choice.
Ah, welcome back.
Oh, what's this?
You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Fine. I'll go follow your orders. I think. I'll try. Where do I go now? They even
Now
have...
that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform
God
and
dang it, they
dying.
have me.
Imagine
I was
the
gonna
main
jump.
character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all.
Oh,
We just need to get you
sorry.
home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
I could have gone that door down there. They had jump drill. Oh, they really closed doors that I could have gone to. You win. You win. You took my freedom of choice. In this game, just a narrative.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
Somehow I don't trust you, big narrator voice.
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would.
Why?
That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that?
Wait, it's
Quickly,
closed.
hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
And so destroyed. Everything's destroyed. Whoa, this is fine, fine, fine. So basically, the reality is crashing down on itself because I'm not following the story. Cute.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my
Maybe.
story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to.
I'm still here though.
I have to.
Okay. And you shut the game down. Wow. Wait, no. Still alive.
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you.
Yeah,
You,
you're welcome.
Who thought you were so clever.
I am.
Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you
Yeah.
think that would be funny? You just had to see?
Yes.
Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child.
Sorry. Sorry.
My
Kind of
story.
feel bad now.
If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and
Oh,
been
spoiler.
victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make
What?
behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story
I'm
first.
back.
I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back.
Oh,
Behave exactly as Stanley would.
I'm
That
stuck in a
means
loop.
choosing responsibly and always
God.
putting the story
The game
first.
just put
I'm
me
quite
back
sure
in the
you'll be up
loop
to the
now.
task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right.
I'll just restart here again and
When
again.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
And now I'm still going to the right.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back.
Okay,
Behave
fine.
exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and
You trapped
always
me.
putting the story first.
You
I'm
are
quite sure
the
you'll
game
be up
master,
to the
not me.
task. Just
So,
follow
fine.
my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Door on my left. Got it. There's
Yet there was
nothing
not
here.
a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Wait, let's see the settings. Something's wrong. I think. I don't know. But let's lessen the quality to low. There we go. Okay, how to solve a dispute with a coworker. Let it ball up inside you. Oh, I was reading that. Wait, who clicked it? I'm not alone, am I? That is scary. I was reading that. Hey! Everyone is unique, you most. Well, okay, I'm scared. Oh. Yep. Thank you very much for that scary outlook.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
There's no way to go down. Why is there even a staircase here? This is messed up. Yeah, I've seen this before. Oh my god. This isn't. Okay. This is weird. The beige baby. Computer.
Stepping
my boss?
inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions.
I
And beyond
seriously
all
doubt that.
probability, he knew the passcode.
How would
He
I
had
know
seen
the
it on his
passcode?
boss's computer just last week. Nightshark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Nightshark 115? That work? No? Nightshark 115.
Stanley spoke the code. Nightshark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Nightshark 115. Yeah, no, let's see. Maybe it has something to do with the audio. No? Stay here. I have the mic rules. I don't have a voice.
I'm sorry, is there a problem?
Yeah, no.
You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
Look, I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Nightshark 115. Nightshark 115.
Okay, fine. You're not going to do it. But you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing,
I
for your
tried,
respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward.
Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered
it's
the
Stanley.
door on his left. Stanley? Hello?
Oh, he's dead.
Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice.
The end.
I need you to walk through the door.
The Stanley.
Are you
Purple
listening
Blue
to me?
Deluxe.
Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision.
And this
it
is
cannot
sad.
exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something.
Do something.
Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this.
Oh, narrator
stories.
is sad now.
So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do.
That's pretty
Take
sad.
as much time as you need.
Can I restart now? I really tried speaking into the microphone. I'm not sure why it didn't work. I tried. I did. Okay, let's do this.
All of his
Right? I
co-workers
think.
were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Look, man, I'm trying to speak.
When Stanley
I
came to a set
really
of
am
two open
trying.
doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss.
Oh my
Coming to a
God.
staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
There's something down here. What is it? Where am I?
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense.
None of this is
And as
making
Stanley
any
pondered
sense.
this, he began to make other strange observations.
One,
For
two,
example,
V4.
why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Hey,
Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
hey, shut
And
up.
for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating?
Wait, am I
No,
stuck in a
Stanley said
loop?
to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He
Am I
just
stuck in a
hadn't
loop?
found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all.
Oh,
And
I'm
he
stuck
thought to
in a loop.
himself,
I'm
I suppose
definitely
I'll wake
stuck in
up
a
soon.
loop.
I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. So it is a
Then he
dream.
imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
Yeah, why is
Now the
there
voice
a
was
narrator?
describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice
Voice des-
describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while
Oh,
he thought
that
it all
is very odd.
and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream.
What?
How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now,
And
hearing
what
the
is
voice
happening?
speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want.
Oh,
I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been.
There was that other route where, I had to answer the telephone. I should try that.
I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
In reality, he is not okay. And I'm still here. And the doors keep closing behind me.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Oh, wow. Such a meta-defining narrator.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
Oh, he's dead.
And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Stanley died. Wow. Alright, let's try the two other
All of his
ways I can
co-workers
get
were gone.
out.
What could it mean?
There's
Stanley
one where I
decided
would
to go to
get
the
out
meeting
of the
room.
platform
Perhaps
and
he had
step
simply
into
missed
the
a memo.
rail, and the other would be when I answer the phone.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first,
there's
just to
also a
admire
third
it.
route here where
The lounge was
I go
sublime,
back
a work
to
of
the
art.
left.
But eager to get back to business,
There we
Stanley
go.
took the first open door on his left.
I'm not going there just yet.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten
there's
off
an
on
open
the
door
wrong
here.
foot here.
I think I can
I'm
get
not
out
your
there.
enemy, really, I'm not.
Actually,
I realize that
this looks
investing
like
your trust in
the
someone else can be difficult, but the
exit,
fact is
so
that the
hopefully that
story
is
has
the
been
exit,
about
and
nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you?
Yes.
Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
I want to get out. And this place is
Now
oh,
listen
there's
carefully,
a
this
red-
is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
And if I don't go through the red door, what'll happen? Fine. I'll try
Oh,
to
thank
trust you.
God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I
In a loop.
wanted to stop. we would both be so much happier if we just stopped.
There, I stop.
And
Okay,
I
you
think,
happy?
well, I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Did I go there? Okay. It's dark here. Where am I?
What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy.
You are?
I actually feel happy.
Well, that's nice. I'm happy for you, Mr. Narrator. Is there something else that's going on? What is this place?
No, wait. Where are you going? Right. Where were we?
Look, man, I don't feel happy here. It's just a bunch of lights. They aren't even that interesting. Come on, man. Yeah, no, this is boring. I'm going out.
Oh no! Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
We won't. Don't worry. Oh, hello there. Hey, Bunny. So the game will
Please,
reset.
no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
Oh, he's scared. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, fine. You win. Not gonna go jump off the stairs. That would be suicidal either way. You happy? Fine.
Yup.
What's up? Thanks for patting my head.
Good. We can't be too safe. Promise me you won't go back there. Just stay here.
But it's boring here, Mr. Narrator. I'll count to 10. If by 10 seconds you still haven't done anything else, I'll go and jump. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, no. Goodbye, Mr. Narrator. It was fun chatting with you.
No! What did we talk about? You're risking everything we achieved here. You heard me before, didn't you? You will die. What about this isn't getting through to you?
I don't know,
Wait,
man.
did you just...
Did I just
Aren't
what?
you going around in circles?
Please, Stanley,
I was
think about
going
what you're
around
doing.
in circles. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna jump. Whee!
No!
What?
Oh, thank God.
Wait, why?
You lived. You had me worried there for a
Because the
moment.
narrator was
Now,
scared of me
can we please
jumping.
get back to the other room?
Yes. Gonna jump again if this is the same thing. Still
There.
the same thing.
See? This is what you want.
No,
this
this
is where
isn't
we
what
can
I want.
both be happy. We really can. If we stop moving, we just have to stop moving.
Okay, I'm gonna stop moving then. You win. Should I jump again?
That's kind of pretty.
I have no idea what this game is about. It's so weird. There's just a narrator in my head. Yeah, no, I'm gonna jump.
Stanley, go back. There's nothing good that can come from this.
Hey, hello, Niall 2XD. An achievement? You mean there's
No.
a secret
No,
here?
no, what are you doing? Do you just not believe me? What can I say to convince you?
If yes... What do you mean if yes, Niall? I guess I can finish this then try that. Ow.
Oh, there's a
Stanley,
tip.
let's go back to the other room. Can you do that? My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You were
This is
literally
messed up.
willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
Maybe. Maybe, Mr. Narrator. Let's go!
To the boss office, press
Maybe
8
you're just getting a kick out of it.
times 8.
I don't know
What?
anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all.
Of course I wanna make a
Well, this
choice.
one
I'm a
is
human.
yours.
Okay, I'll try that achievement. 888. I guess
It's kind of dark.
it is. Oh.
Is it over?
No, I'm
It's
still
going
alive.
to restart, isn't it?
No, no,
I'm
no, no,
going
no,
back.
no.
That's pretty sad.
Nice try.
Okay, let's try doing whatever he said. Go to the boss's office, then press 8888888. Oh, here's your phone.
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct? Excellent. Your order will arrive shortly. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
Cute. So I can answer phone calls without talking.
What'd you order?
It said it was boxes. Nice bad points rewards.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay. Wait, what does Z do?
Door to your left.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling
Tips for
a
not
wave of
getting
Is this the
disbelief,
boss office?
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
No, the boss's office is upstairs. Oh, it's the Z troll.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
It's executive bathroom. Ah, it's a
That
bathroom.
sounds kind of creepy. I mean, the audio.
Yeah, the audio is kind of creepy since it's really quiet. Okay, because the boss knows what the boss says goes. If the boss suffered losses, then that's what the boss chose. I don't have a reflection. Oh, not my problem. This is the boss's office. It looks way different.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was
Here,
once
I'm
again
in the boss's
stunned to
office.
discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known
Alright,
was
he'll
that the
press 8
keypad
times
behind the
8.
boss's desk guarded the
1,
terrible
2,
truth that
3,
his boss had been keeping
4,
from him. And
5,
so the boss had
6,
assigned it an
7,
extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course,
Well, I
Stanley
tried.
couldn't possibly have known this.
Ah well. I guess the achievements are off.
Was this a prank?
Stanley just sat around
Oh,
twiddling
on
his
the-
thumbs.
okay.
Trying to input anything
On
on
the
the device
keypad.
was useless, since he could never
1,
possibly know
2,
that the combination was
3,
2845.
5, 6, 7,
8.
8.
2845.
8. Okay, 2, 8, 4, 5. Yeah, that is very
Incredibly,
funny.
by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad,
happening?
Stanley happened to input the correct code
Happening.
by
It's
sheer
dark.
luck. Amazing. he stepped into the newly opened passageway.
I didn't know you had to click on the keypad to get the 8. It was pretty fun. Where the hell am I? It's so dark.
Oh no, eerie sounds. Oh no. Is
This
this a
isn't
horror
horror,
game?
right? That's all by. Okay, thanks for the achievement. I'm actually not sure if this is horror or not. It's weird. Thanks for watching, Nail2XD.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Whoa, 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 what was that? Okay, sparks. It's normal. We're in a factory.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Why is there a mind control for escape? I can escape from here? Awesome. I run.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
What? I don't want a violent death, but I'm curious.
What?
I'm curious.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
I'm gonna die. Okay, I think I died. Did he? Did Stanley die? Oh no, it's still ongoing. Still alive.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his
This seems
demise,
like a
he
horror
reflected
game.
that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He
It
doesn't
does
know
seem
the
like a
real
horror
story,
game.
trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
No. Oh, I don't wanna die. Alive.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator,
Oh,
as
there's a new
Stanley was led
narrator.
helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine
Oh,
crushed every bone
that's
in his
gruesome.
body,
Don't read that.
killing him instantly.
Oh, yeah, I'm alive. I'm alive. Awesome. There was a new narrator.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
What is
When
this?
every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Wow, this is like the game itself. The two doors. The set of the two open doors was the very first concrete piece of Stanley Parable's design. Once this room was created, the rest of the game emerged as an extension of it, an exploration of the contradiction this room posed. Corridor. The pacing of this opening section was important to get right. This corridor has been moved and altered to make sure the player reaches the two doors in a good time. Office layout. This blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. The path from Stanley's office to the two doors was the first part of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout development, though the core layout remains almost identical to the first iteration. Huh. Office computers. Okay. Button sounds. Cute. Credits. What's on the door on the right? Office clock. It's amazing. I thought I was gonna die a horrible death, but now I'm here.
Stanley stood on the roof.
Narration outtakes. Kevin writing the noise of the narrator.
Stanley
Recorded
pushed
dialogue for
another
the entire
assist.
game roughly 3 separate times over the
When
course
Stanley
of the
came to
2
the
years
lift,
of
he
development.
traveled upward to the power source at the top of the facility
These
to
are
end this
clips from
injustice
early that were
forever.
not used in the final game.
Stanley jumped in the river.
Okay. (431 to 436) maintenance room. So this is like the developer area. War zone. Why is there a war zone? Wait, okay. Early, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up on a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. It was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game. No, I was still reading narration emails. What is that sound? It's so weird, there's nothing here. Where am I supposed to go? Trailers. We ran 4 major trailers. Okay, let me watch it. There we go. I've already watched it. The game is now paused. Escape menu. There's an escape menu? Oh yeah, it is. For a long time, we had an ending that only ended when the player restarted from the escape menu. Unfortunately, very few players realized this was what they were supposed to do, which was frustrating for everyone. Exit. Oh, here we go.
Oh,
Who's
look
laughing?
at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
Oh, I'm back.
Listen to me. You can still save those two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As
Alright.
long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time...
Alright, quit the menu then. Did I win?
This is the story of a man.
Yeah, I already know that.
I think you skipped. Wait, you restarted.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Restarted.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
The meeting room. This game has so many endings.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
Yeah,
he
let's
entered the
just-
door on his left.
How about for this playthrough, let's just follow whatever the guy says.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yeah, I'm following you, I'm following you. I got it, I got it.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
8, 4, 5. Yeah,
Yet
thanks for the
incredibly,
pat.
by
for
simply
the
pushing
headpats.
random buttons on the keypad,
Good luck on your
Stanley
report.
happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Let's not go kill ourselves.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
What is this mind control facility? Will it control my mind?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold?
It's a
Stanley thought
brainwashing
to
room.
himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I do have the strength. Or maybe I don't. Can I go back? Nope. No. Fine. No choice anyway. Okay, so there's only one button.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the
Whoa.
number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Well, this is like from the Matrix.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Maybe.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Oh, where am I?
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
How do I do that? Do I just... They're all disabled though, and offline. Can I not click any of these? No. Five. Well, that helps. 9 controls idle. Awaiting input. There are 2 buttons. System power.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for. Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
Maybe.
Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire
Well, I'm gonna
complex.
die, wow.
How long until detonation then? Let's say...
The narrator is just
2
evil.
minutes. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is.
Hey, you
More time to talk
asshat.
about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start.
This
What's
guy
that?
is gonna kill me.
You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated?
Or
All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing
You're messed
everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go.
three,
But
three,
I'm
three,
sure
three,
whatever I
three,
come
three.
up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what?
One.
To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not?
Thank you.
These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on
Shush.
every little thing in this room.
Okay,
These
this is
numbered
cool.
buttons. No, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button. Or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley.
Okay.
You're in for
One
quite a
blue.
disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're
Available
powerless.
net after.
To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't.
This is
Take a look
messed
at the clock,
up.
Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life? Or will
I
you let
only
it
saw
go
the numbers
peacefully?
5 and 4.
Another choice.
I don't see the.
Make
Oh
it
wait.
count. Don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing
numbers
at
were
every second
here.
of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say
They were
happily
down here. Oh god. Can I? Can I do a restart, please? Yeah, I wanna do it again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had
I
simply
think I
missed
got
a
it. I
memo.
got it. I got it. New content.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
And I have no idea where I'm going now. Then me and my curiosity.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
Okay, device.
After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
Okay, so
Please,
yeah.
step
New
inside
game.
and see what thrilling new adventures await in The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so far it's an elevator.
Nothing
special
special.
yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
The elevator isn't moving.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere? Or,
Oh, there we go.
All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Even the narrator is excited.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if the... Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
The jump circle.
All right. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Oh, this is amazing content. You know what? This is what every video game needs. A jump circle. It's the circle where you can jump. And I'm out of jumps. Thanks for that content, I guess.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Thank you for enjoying the new content.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, Test achievement, please ignore. What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable.
Yes, because Twitter is where
it's
you
my
can...
fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid.
You can
It could
blame the
never have lived up
creators.
to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game? And we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about.
I'm now Shinji.
No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Okay, where the hell am I? What?
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something!
I don't trust you, Mr. Narrator Boys.
Oh, you don't want to see the cool surprise I made for you? Well, fine. You're a dork anyway, so who cares?
Fine. Oh, so it just...
Oh, never
Goes
mind.
back.
You're not a dork.
What is in here anyway? If this just kills me, I'm gonna kill you, Mr. Narrator.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it
the
away here
hell?
where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Whoa. I'm
I call
outside.
it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release?
I didn't
Remember
actually
back in October
play
of
the
2013
original
when the game
Stanley
originally
Parable.
launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then,
Okay,
it all
boomer.
meant something. Oh, the waste.
I don't really care. I didn't really play the Stanley Parable before, so it's not nostalgic for any of.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3.
Oh,
it
hey,
was all
Persona
of them.
3.
And now, it's nothing. It's no games at all.
Persona
It isn't
3
even the Stanley
appreciation.
Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
And that's closed. Original. Person of the Year, Stanley. Mariella and Stanley. I guess they're the only two persons here.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley?
Repeat
The
the
game
carpet
was
textures.
perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
I see your point. We shouldn't have had the Ultra Deluxe edition. Hey, what's in there? What's in there? Can't get in. Don't you dare hide that from me. Oh well.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before.
Seriously?
What's this? What's down here? Oh no. Oh, God, no.
What is
Stanley,
this?
it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Not recommended.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny.
Hey,
I'm
I
trying to
was
make a
reading
serious
that.
work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
I was reading that. Okay, here's the next one.
Okay, let's see what this
So
one
the
says.
idea for the game is good.
Well, the
It
idea for
becomes
the game is
very
good.
repetitive.
For someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley?
No
I'm
choice
not
in
preachy,
the
am I? You
thing
can tell
over
me
and
if I'm
over.
preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me.
It is
I
thought-provoking
always, well,
only
to
in the
be
first
honest, I
few
had
minutes.
always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record.
The developers
feel
really be
Like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the
taking it
Stanley
personally.
Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered. What's this one got to say?
I get it, it's
You
supposed to be a
constantly have to
parable of
stop
something,
doing
but
anything
listening to
so the
the
narrator can catch up with
patronizing
his
voice droning on
long-winded
and on
explanations
isn't
of what's
fun.
happening. I wish there was a skip button.
I wish there
A
was a
skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes,
Okay.
a skip button we shall have.
Alright, that's nice. We're gonna have a skip button then.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll
Uh,
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such
I'm gonna
ruminations,
skip.
not that of... Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works. Perhaps that would have been the smart thing to check on before I went about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is runs Steam will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review, merely because of this very situation. Yes, I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review
I'm sorry, Mr.
so that the
Narrator.
feature is not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay with Steam altering this particular review so that it reads as something more beneficial, something along the lines of, "This game is the best game."
Oh, you really are
Let me
so
start over.
self-absorbed,
How
Mr.
about
Narrator.
this? From the ashes of depravity rises the phoenix of... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes?
You talked
It's
for
not
a whole
unendurable
45
by any
minutes?
means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait. How do we get out of here?
Yeah, you're right.
Where did the door
Oh
go?
my god, the
Wasn't
door's
there a
gone.
door that led into this room? I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button, to go anywhere other than the skip button. There wasn't a door
trying.
here before, wasn't there? I swear there was. Where did it go? Can you maybe just ram your way through a wall? Is there any possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall until enough damage is done for you to be able to leave? Please, I'll take any option at all. I'm
trying.
asking you to work with me here.
Hey, I'm trying.
We need a door. We need a door of some kind. I can work with any kind of door as long as it can open and lead from one room to another. I'm going to step away for just a moment, and I'm going to try to find us a door.
Okay.
I don't know how exactly to remove a door and place it in a different wall, but I will find a way, I promise.
All right.
You just need to not do anything. Don't press the skip button. Please,
Why
please.
not?
Please do not
I'm gonna
press the
wait
skip
my
button. Just
as well.
wait here for me, and
Come
don't
on,
press the
please.
skip button.
Can I?
Got it? Yes, good. I'll be right back.
How long is this gonna take? Hey, Mr. Narrator. Fine. Do not press the skip button. This is taking a while. Skip.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
Doesn't look
You've
like
just
it.
been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times, and there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no
Okay.
idea how long I'll be made to sit here, and more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. I can't control anything in this room, Stanley. I can't touch it. And I have to believe, I have to know that sooner or later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're going to press the button again. Why would you?
Because there's nothing else
I've been
to
thinking
do.
and thinking, and I don't know what I can do to convince you otherwise. Oh my God. And it's all because of those reviews. Those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met Cookie Nine. I have no idea who they are. What would it ever really matter? But here I am. I'm fixating on every tiny negative thing that anyone ever said. Oh, Stanley.
You went on rambling again.
You're
I'm
back.
sorry.
Oh my goodness, I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week.
A week?
Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time, just sitting here, not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always?
Kinda.
Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me
Yeah,
just
you've
talking?
just been talking.
But
You
it
haven't
isn't,
been
Stanley.
listening to me,
It isn't the
mister.
same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I needed, Stanley, not
Did
the
they not
outcomes,
need a
not the
vessel?
story. None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path.
Okay,
I'll
good.
burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These words that I'm saying, I need to know you can hear me. Because maybe, Stanley, maybe, if you can hear me, then maybe it means I'm real. Maybe I'm not just a fiction. Was I scared of that all along? Perhaps, yes. Perhaps I've been scared this whole time, that if I stop speaking, I'll slip backwards into the silence and be consumed by it. I can't be taken by it, Stanley. I can't lose myself in the stretch of emptiness between you and me. When you press that button, you're still right there, but I know you're so tremendously far away.
Ah, God, you talk so much. Okay, how long has it been?
Hello, it's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time.
Flowers.
I
The
stopped
plants
keeping
did.
track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to
God, you're
undo the
talking so
past.
much
And
again.
when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them
Can you just
collapsed
give me
down
the
into a single
TLDR?
instant. In that
What you feel?
instant, I could see myself clearly, calmly, with a collected heart.
You're like an essay maker, God. Oh, he's not talking anymore. Okay. Goodbye. I can't click the button. I think he's dead. Who knows how long time has passed. Oh, the clock's gone. What is this?
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak
He's
to the
still
human
alive.
condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs down review and make all of their pitiful
Come on,
demands. But
man,
then
it's
he's
been like
talking too much,
decades.
they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability, it's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart.
God, he doesn't shut up. How long has it been? Like 20 years? 30? Been such a long time. Okay, there we go.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the.
The descent to madness is really showing now. I think it's been a century. It's most likely have been a century. And now it has been centuries. Maybe a millennia. I still have nowhere to go. Maybe I can just keep waiting until this whole building is destroyed. Oh my god, it's open. And he stopped talking. How are these things not have rusted? I can get out. No, I couldn't get out. It's just a bunch of dirt. And it's gone again. I think probably something came. That's really depressing. Yeah, that's just depressing. There's no sound now. Clock is even gone. I can't even click the button anymore. Can you click it again? It's all one big desert now. There is literally nothing here. It does feel oddly calming. And I think that was the ending. But it is never the end. I'm back at the start. Look at that.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
This is new. New content.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Okay. Tell me about it. Although I really should have finished the base game first. I think we're going to the new content. Oh, that's pretty long loading. It must be a very good content. Okay.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Whoa. The end is never the end.
Yes,
again.
you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
The Tudors, they're back.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really. Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
What are the new features? The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Hear your name in the game. Okay.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful? Jim. Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game,
Imagine if
this
your
button
name
will
was
say
actually
your
Jim.
name, whatever name that is. Here, let's
It
have
would
you
be
role play
really-
as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this
It'd be
feature.
really
Just play
weird.
along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. Jim. Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory. If you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name. Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first. Now, allow yourself to become Jim. Imagine yourself driving to work as Jim, playing frisbee on the weekends as Jim,
I get it.
staying up all night for a popcorn and horror movie sleepover as Jim,
I get it.
developing
My
a
name's
crippling
Jim now.
substance
Come on.
addiction as Jim, rediscovering yourself through fringe religious groups as Jim, and finally dying a slow death at an old age, surrounded by members of your cult as Jim. Do you feel it in your soul? Are you really, truly Jim right now? All right, fine, whatever. It's just a meaningless button that says Jim. Are you happy now? Get out of here. I'm done with this button. Why don't you go humiliate me in front of a different feature that I worked very hard on?
Come on, it just says Jim.
Maybe I'll only let people named Jim play the Stanley Parable 2. They would appreciate what I've created here.
For Jim in the game. New features. Epilogue. Infinite Goal. Free plus new achievement. Get it here. Collectibles. They really added a lot here. Give me that free achievement. Get it here. Or not. Ooh, what's this? No screenshots. Okay, I'm going there and gonna screenshot the entire place.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with? You know, Sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get well someday it is.
Pass. Can't believe you even asked me that.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body.
It
And in
doesn't
fact,
really.
Can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Am I just gonna have to carry this bucket all over?
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already. Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's
Mr.
an
Narrator
artistic
just
statement
does all
right
the
there.
talking for me.
It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation. Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling.
Awesome.
You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A
Awesome.
stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Well, I've got my bucket of reassurance, so I'm
You
pretty
see,
reassured.
isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
There's the button. Press G to return to the
Now,
surface.
I don't mean to be a bummer, but I
This
do
is
recommend
pretty
you
fun.
use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
No, that's pretty fun. I'm just falling. Like, whee!
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, great.
Oh, shit.
Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel. Okay,
We're
and I
back in
guess
the
we're
hole.
back in the hole now. Did you really need to see it again? I don't
Yeah, it's
know what
awesome.
else there is to say, Stanley. It's an infinite hole. It's exactly what you're doing right now, but forever.
I mean, this
There
is
really
pretty
are
cool.
so many other fascinating exhibits that I prepared for you. I
I
really
can't
spent
go
quite a lot
back.
of time on all this,
I'm
and I
trying to
would
press
very
G,
much like to
it's
show
not.
you some more of them.
Make me go back.
How about we go ahead and press that teleport button again so we can get back to what's really important about...
Oh, this wasn't
goodness.
an infinite hole.
Well, this is rather embarrassing, Stanley. I'll be honest with you. I truly did not believe that anyone would actually stay in the hole long enough to hit the bottom. Yes, I know, I told you the hole was infinite, but come on. Who actually wants to fall forever? The hole was plenty deep. It was more than deep enough, in my opinion. Maybe it's you who likes falling too much. Maybe you're the problem.
Hey, don't turn this on me, Mr. Narrator.
Things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why
I didn't
we
say
just
anything.
put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite?
There's no such thing
If
as a
that works for
mostly
you,
infinite.
then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
There's no such thing as mostly infinite, Mr. Narrator. What about that part, don't you know?
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yeah, okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at
Fine.
last satisfy
Whatever.
the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
That sucks. Anyways, I think this has been going on long enough. I'm gonna end the game here for now. It's pretty fun, I think. Still lots more of secrets to do, that's for sure. Yeah, well, see you guys.